How is getting 1,000 clicks a fail? What if personalization isn't about data, just better context? You're optimizing ad spend, but what about optimizing links? Hey everyone, it's Jake Sanders, host of What Gets Measured, a NinjaCat podcast about marketing performance management, metrics, and effectiveness, because what gets measured gets managed. This interview with Scott today is a doozy for the digital ad world. Scott has been working at a highly technical level in this space for 3 decades, and his insight into optimizing links is something you're going to want to hear. So let's get to it. Scott Cate is an internet innovator with more than 3 decades of experience, from the old days of shipping floppy disks through to today. He served in key engineering roles at industry giants like Microsoft and Amazon. His work in the space led Scott to develop a rules-based system that turns basic URLs into intelligent, adaptable tools for modern campaigns. He's traveled to 52 countries, flown millions of miles, and he's here today to talk about optimizing ads. Scott, welcome to the show.
Amazing. I feel like that's movie voice.
That's what I'm saying. I'm bringing the heat for you.
Scott
how are
Scottsdale.
Scott, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to you today about reinventing like the oldest part of the internet that is hard-coded, and we want to get rid of hard-coded links.
Yes. And as I was doing research for this, I was like, this is really interesting. And then you say, wait, what is this?
Right.
It's not highly technical, but I think the reason what you just said was this is very old stuff. So let's get to it. I got 3 questions. We're putting you in the hot seat. You know about these marketers. You know about these advertisers optimizing ads for ROI and click-through rate. And they can point to it on a dashboard. Ads can be optimized, right, Scott? Can't they?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right. So what do you think is incomplete about this picture or broken, and why are you focused on links?
Yeah, perfect. That's a great question. You say ads can be optimized. I say links can be optimized. Here's the fail point. If 1,000 people click a link and they all end up at the same page, I would say that's a mistake. And obviously there's different types of links. If I'm going to a terms of service, that's the same for everybody. Maybe you have language detection because you're an international organization. But if you're in the ad space and you're selling a product, I believe you can get much farther, deeper with dynamically generating and using some AI to figure out what's the best way to sell that product based on a couple of very simple parameters. For example, location. If you are East Coast, West Coast, North America, Japan, Sydney, somewhere in Europe, you're probably a different buyer looking at a different product. But let's actually go something super, super simple. Daytime, nighttime. Let's say you have a candle that you're selling. If you have an ad and 1,000 people click that ad and they all see the same candle, that's a complete miss. Because are you the same person at 8 a.m. versus 3 p.m. or 11 p.m.? Like, you could just imagine yourself as a completely different soul, right? So you could sell the candle at a breakfast table. You could sell the candle at nighttime where it's, light and you're reading a book. It's the same product, but you basically have nighttime, daytime for the product. Or here, I'm going to blow your mind and your readers are going to say,
do it. I'm taking notes.
What about weather? Are you the same buyer persona if you're snowed in or it's raining out or you're sunny and you're on a beach? So here's what we do. We take a product like a candle. We use AI to generate about 900 versions of the candle. So it's not just breakfast, but it's breakfast snowy. It's not just breakfast rainy, lunch. It's East Coast, West Coast, it's continental based. We might change the language on the packaging. And then we put all those images online in a conventional URL. So, you have location, time of day. So we know how to address the images. And then when the ad is clicked, we load the images on demand based on the viewer that is looking at that. So like, you're in California, you're in LA, it's morning, it's snowing out. You see snowshoes that are outside a mudroom in your door. Meanwhile, I'm in Florida, sunny on a beach. I see an umbrella. So you know, it's different things for different people, but at the end of the day, we've got all of this complicated conversation we just said. but let's simplify.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go all the way back to the beginning of the internet. You have a hyperlink. You click the hyperlink, it's hard-coded. It only goes to one place. So here's what we did. Our company is 301. I put this on my shirt for you.
Mm-hmm.
301
Very good.
is
Well branded.
301 is a nod to internet status code for redirect. Some of your audience might know 404 is not found, 500 is error.
Love that page.
301, redirecting. So here's what we did. Instead of hard coding to a single destination, we come to 301, which is a rules engine. The rules engine says, what's all the information that I know about you? What are the rules of the business that you've defined? And then go to the destination. So it's a marketing tool that helps typically larger companies sell more product and make more money. We have a lot of restaurants that use us for simple things like time of day, show the menu, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we have, chiropractic office that uses us for like on the weekend, we're closed. So show this, but during the week we're open. The best thing is our customers have invented these rules that we never even thought of. And so one of our most popular clients is a franchise. They do national marketing. So imagine a QR code on TV or a billboard. Well, where's the user? It's national, you don't know. But let's say you're a haircut place or a smoothie place or a coffee place, and you're like, here's my national commercial, but I want to drive people to a local traffic. And so when they scan the QR code, we get the destination, then we take them right to the closest location. So yeah, I'm working on a bunch of case studies. Hopefully by the time this airs, we'll have some things online, but it all comes back to that simple thing. You click a URL or scan a QR code, which is the same thing. It's clicking a URL. Rules engine processes, says, where are you? And then ship you to the closest location.
Okay, so this is dope.
Oh, I thought you were
really love that.
high-fiving me.
High five. No, high five for sure. So here's my question. Okay, I have two follow-up. Context switching in ad variants. If I have 900 different versions of my product,
Yes.
does that impact brand salience across the whole thing? Like, I just saw 900 different ads for a candle. I didn't see that one candle. Is the fractalization of the messaging a problem with creating cohesive, memorable callback and recall?
So there's two people looking at that problem. One is the customer who doesn't know there's 900 versions of the candle. They just see a candle that subliminally they relate to. But the other person looking at that problem is the marketer spending money.
Right.
And it's sort of like A/B split testing, but on steroids. And we follow the same parameters where the product is the candle. So if you're looking at conversion, you can say, how many candles did we sell? Top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel, like what's our money? But now you have, and you actually accidentally used the exact term that we use, variation. And so now you have the candle, now you have a report on the variations of what's working. And it turns out your candle sells mostly in California, Northern California, when it's snowing. You're like, you never knew that before because you didn't have that data.
And that makes so much sense. And so it could, you're saying something really interesting, is that the infinite variations are not exposed to the audience. They're
that's right.
held by the marketers. And then here's a question that you just said. Is it possible that I could create 900 variants of an ad campaign and for that product and then get lost in the sauce and actually think, because I created so many different variations, I gave myself too many factors to consider, and maybe it might blind you to places that you don't know you will get, you know what I mean? Like if you're following the data and then you go for that, but then eventually people are going to stop buying candles. How does this stuff help explore new opportunities? I guess because you have 900 different variations in flight, you've already,
That's right.
My God.
The data answers itself. And let's be more specific. You are not creating a workload of 900 variations on the marketer. It's all on demand. So listen to this. If your audience does
this
any
goes
text
with my next
messaging-
question.
Okay. If your audience does any text message marketing, whether it's outreach or, come back for a coupon, you're marketing to your existing audience. Let's say you send out 10,000 messages and they have the same payload. Well, if you've sent out a text message, the open graph image loads as a preview. Well, we put the URL of the Open Graph image through our rules engine. And what that means is those 10,000 people all see, it's the same text message, but the preview loads from their phone, it loads local. So that means every person gets a unique preview, which increases the click-through rate on the text messaging, in some cases as much as 8 times. So we're stuck on this weather concept, but I don't want to stay there because people listening, they're like, I don't care about weather. But like we have a customer that does custom images based on stock market. They sell stock market trading software, how to make money in the stock market. And their images are unique based on, is the stock market open? Yes or no? If the stock market's not open, it's a whole different messaging market. But if the stock market is open, then is it up or is it down? Is it up by more than 1% or down by more than 2%? And so they have these variations that change the message. It's like how to make money when the stock market's up, like today. How to make money when the stock market's down. So the point is, and it all comes back to that rules engine, we call it real-time marketing. Like what can I do right now in real time to better connect with the buyer so we can make more money? Like,
and so my other question was, you don't have to track individuals' journey. You don't have to. What I think is the problem with personalization and targeting and advertising is that they think they need to get all of this person's journey from A to B to C to D to everything. I want to map the customer's geospatial. I need everything. I need what they have for breakfast. I need how they're feeling. I need their astrological sign. I need to know who their grandma was. But what you're saying is you don't need any of that. You only need to have it be at the contextual moment that somebody would show up at that time. Am I wrong in saying that it seems creepy that you would be doing real-time marketing, but you'd be needing to steal everybody's data to do that? This is not that. Am
that's right.
I right?
Everything we do is anonymous. That's right. So I don't know who you are. I don't know anything about you. But
I don't know you either, Scott.
But the customer, our customer, does have the ability to sort of do cross-referencing like they do now with Google Analytics. You show up on the page, they can get your, now they know your purchase history because you've logged in. But I don't really get into that space. I'm sort of that rules engine is it's a little box that has input and output. And the input is the link you clicked, and the output based on the customer rules, your rules. The output is like, where do you want the user to go? And it could be an image, could be an HTML page, could be whatever the customer wants. But there is a lot of work that goes into, and I sort of push back on your statement with a generic answer of, it depends on your size and what you're marketing. And let's say that I have a Shopify store. Like I'm a small entrepreneur, I'm selling those candles. Maybe I'm selling a candle warmer and lighters and candle stuff. Like I'm a candle shop. That's different than if you're Macy's, right? Macy's has 40,000 products. They've got purchase history. Let's say it's Walmart. Like I don't like to have a binary on or off, good or bad, works for me, doesn't work for you, because there's different levels of sophistication and size. And ultimately we all want to try to make money, right? That's our whole goal, is using this rules engine to better connect with the buyer persona in real time. And the candle shop is going to do something different than General Motors.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes into this next question. Scaling this tech across a big ecosystem. I mean, you're talking national, you're talking big enterprise
worldwide, millions of links per second.
Worldwide. I mean, that's crazy. And so tracking and like the data fragmentation, how does that affect AI's ability to properly like analyze and make smart decisions in paid media? I mean, it seems like it's a lot of data.
It's a ton of data. And it's amazing. Data is what we get paid for. The data is what helps us make better decisions in the future to make more money.
Absolutely.
We could tell a little lie about real time and say there's no such thing. Everything is historical. It just matters on how short the window is. So when you talk about AI making decisions, we do it in 250 milliseconds, but it's still historical. Like we're predicting a path but it's not there yet. We're predicting a path based on what we know from history, whether that is just a quarter second ago or a month ago from purchase history. So AI is amazing. We use it a lot. It does some phenomenal things, but it's all based on history.
So, and you're talking about history, but then how do you scale that? How do you give these, reports to people? How do you help them? Is AI going through a lot of this analysis and giving people the thoughts? And yes, candle person, Northern California, when it snows, how do you condense all that, or is that on them to figure it out?
What you said at the end is the best part. So this is going to probably sound counterintuitive. We try not to get into analytics. And the reason for that is our customers already have analytics.
Right.
So we give them analytics on the engine. Here's the rules that were processed, number of clicks, locations that were clicked, things like that. But it's more of a sanity check that the rules engine is working. I actually tell our customers, you should never see our analytics. If you're looking at our analytics, you probably shouldn't be using our software because your downline is broken. Like whether that's Snowflake, Google Bigtable, Google Analytics, Fathom, there's a million analytics engines out there. So what we do is we have plugins for our analytics, and we do webhooks to push the analytics into your engine, which we only need to do if you're promoting third-party content. Because first-party content, like if I come to scott.com, I have those analytics. I'm already, that's first party. But if I'm promoting a YouTube video, now we have something different because I don't have YouTube analytics. Maybe I do if it's my video, but what if I'm promoting your video? So we have some analytics that we can push through, pixel injection, UTM fixing and normalizing. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff the rules engine can do that makes the reporting better downline. But yeah, analytics is a crazy beast that we're not really in the business of. We want to feed analytics to something else, but I don't want to invent another analytics engine.
Well, and like anybody's going to look at it. I mean, NinjaCat, we do this. We have the dashboards, and we know people are not looking at these dashboards. You're like, well, we have them for you. Why aren't you looking at them? Come on now.
Again, I think it's the sophistication of each person. Like if you were like some people probably look at that dashboard as their homepage 20 times a day. And then other people are like, they're like, what's a dashboard?
And that's where that disconnect comes from, is that I spend all my time here trying to figure out these tracking parameters, all these things. And then this person has no time to hear any of this. They don't care if the rules engine is going. Like they need to do that. I like that you have a kind of church and state line, is that I'm going to help work on this serving. I'm going to help work on this, but this is not this. So if you're thinking that, my links are all that doesn't mean that they're giving you the revenue, giving you the goals that touch the KPIs that actually mean something to the CFO who has no time to hear about this. So this is about this measurement. We're talking about this thing. And I have a question about post-click experience. I think the links, you're driven on them because we are measured by them, but we just discussed that might not necessarily mean you're going to make money off this. People are clicking, we serve the ads. Oh, it looks like it's working. You better check the P&Ls.
That's right.
Is there a post-click experience thing that people should be thinking of? Is like before the click and then after the click? What are the signals that maybe people should be looking for, or is there such a thing? Do we need to start thinking post-click?
Yeah, 100%. And so we have a button you can click in the application that's turning on what we call click data enrichment.
Hello.
And all it does is it appends 17 query string values to any URL. And the query string values are the time it was clicked, the location it was clicked from, the original referring domain, if there is one. And with that click data enrichment, the beauty of that is, again, we're still in our little box of link magic, but that click data enrichment flows through to everyone's Google Analytics because those key value pairs in the query string just magically start showing up. So I think that to answer your question, post-click, if you can't measure it, it doesn't happen. Like literally, that's the name of your podcast, right?
I mean, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. If you can't measure it, It doesn't happen. So if I have 1,000 people click a link and they all go to my homepage and I'm not keeping track of where those 1,000 people came from, Google Analytics is going to help me a little, but click data enrichment is going to help me a lot.
Scott, like, just pretend we're at a bowling alley right now and you just threw a strike and then you're like about to grab a beer and you're about to give me the real truth. People can do this stuff right now. Why aren't marketers doing this stuff? Like, marketers' problems persist. A lot of people are like, marketing's a waste. Well, the budget's down a little bit or revenue's down. We have to let the marketers go. Did they fail at proving their value or did they overprove it? I mean, like, why? Tell me what people are getting wrong about this right now.
Well, I think there's an education and, like most...
Damn it, that can't be the case, Scott, because...
most things evolve. And if you're still doing marketing like you did a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago, man, the world has left you behind. And like, you have to try new things. You have to learn, you have to experiment. And like, I don't know, my friend always says, keep doing what you're doing, keep getting what you're getting. Like, if you're not going to change anything, then your results aren't going to change. Like, you've got to experiment. You got to try new things. And it doesn't even have to be about buying new products or experimenting with things like 301, but every day needs to up your game. You got to do something new every day to experiment, to learn. Dive into Google Analytics and learn something new. Get into your Snowflake database and try to figure out like where your customers are coming from. What state are they in? What time of day do they shop? Like, these are questions that I think people may or may not think about unless they're in experimental mode. Like, here's what we have today. What could we do different? Like, let's just change 1%, one tiny little thing, and see what happens tomorrow. And maybe it sucks. You're like, oh, that was bad. But being wrong is a learning experience. And those who are never wrong stay simple-minded. You have to fail in order to succeed. And then when you succeed, you're like, oh my gosh, this is why it's so good. Like,
my man.
That's a quote, right?
That's a quote, baby. I mean, that's what we're looking for. I mean, but you are amazing. You've said so many awesome things. I was just thinking about, as you were talking about, you could open up any CRM, any database, and just get excited about the exploratory nature and say, boy, you don't even know. Like, a lot of us are just like over it. We look at the data, we're like, pfft. But if you have fresh eyes and you're like, wow, there's so many interesting small little things, but you can get fatigued with that. What's your advice to people if they're feeling fatigue around data and they maybe don't have that curiosity? They're just sort of like dry and chapped out here. What's your word of mirage, your inspiration to get them through the desert?
So I have a trick question that I start all my training with, and it directly answers this. So, question with a question. What time is it? Simple question with no answer. Question that creates a lot more questions. So here, what time is it?
I don't know, 10.
Okay. So there's 1,000 people on your website. What time is it for them? The answer is it's all the time. Right? So here's the answer to your question. This is what I do as a thought experiment to be like, I'm in a rut. I want to do something different. I ask, what time are things happening? And most people can't answer the question, which is good, because what that means is now you have to dig. And you're like, what time is it when people buy? And so the mistake people make is they go to their time, or they go to the time on the server. They're like, I get a lot of orders at 9 a.m., so that means everyone's shopping in the morning. Well, it's not true. If your buyers are European or Asian or in Oceania, if you have traffic that's international,
Australia. Right,
your prime market might be overnight. So, we have different messaging that you can figure out for people. Again, if 1,000 people click a link and they all say the same thing, that's a fail. If you can figure out what the important times are in your business, and maybe you're like, dude, that's not for me. Time doesn't matter. I have a product that, like,
timeless.
It's just an experiment to do something different. So answer that question. What time for the user is important to do stuff. Maybe it's their morning, which gives you a 6-hour window of your day, or maybe there's a window that you can try to figure out where you can better target your messaging based on local time. So we have my time, server time, and local time. Local time is different. It's like your website is 24/7, and if you're only showing one version, or maybe you're even A/B split testing 2 versions, but it's not time based, there's a whole explosion of thought that you should be having of like, can my product connect to a customer when it's their morning different than when it's overnight? So at the end of this, the first thing I have people do to execute, just create light mode, dark mode of your products. And at night, show the dark mode. And in the day, show the light mode. And even that will uptick your sales, because if it's 11 o'clock at night and you're scrolling through TikTok and you click the ad and then it brings you to a blinding page, first thing you do is leave the page.
Wow.
Like, I don't want to wake up, like, you know, like it's just human nature. But if I have dark mode, now I can't just have dark mode for everyone, because dark mode is not great for shopping in the morning.
Right.
So, you know, and it turns out you have to have dark mode and light mode at the same time, because if you're in Argentina and I'm in Japan, it's the same time on the server, but local time, daytime, nighttime. So what time is it is an amazing thought experiment for people to go through, no matter what their business is.
And there's personal things, as you were just saying. What time does anything happen? Not just sales or anything, inner office relations, outside personal things, like starting to get a sense of other time and not just your clock. I can't think of a better piece of advice. Oh, Scott, you're amazing. People want to connect with you. They want to learn more. How can they do that?
So the product is 301.pro. Short, sweet, simple, professional, redirect marketers. It's amazing. Thank you for the compliments. I've had a good time. My name is on the screen, Scott, Cate. All the socials. Fortunately, there are only like 2 or maybe 3 people who share my name in the world, and the other 2 are not internet savvy. So Scott Cate anywhere finds me: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever you fancy. And 301.pro is the same thing. It's unique everywhere. So 301.pro, we just launched a new website. Really happy with it. And so if anybody's interested, take a look. And, you know, the other thing is I love talking to customers, even if they don't buy our product. If you just want to brainstorm, like, hey, that time of day thing was interesting, just, you know, use the chat widget, send me a DM on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And like, I just love learning new things. Oh, here's how I'll end. I just learned something new for our customer. This is something that they're doing in the rules engine. I was like, how are you doing that? And they're like, oh, we just did this. So A/B split testing is a feature that we have, but it's a little more complicated than it should be. This customer didn't know about our feature. So they have 2 landing pages that they want to split test. It turns out that's a pretty hard thing to do, actually. Like, if you're using an ad network, then they might do A/B split testing for you. Or if you're using something like Optimizely, they might redirect some links to do some A/B split testing. But if you're just a marketer and you have a link in your, say, your link in bio or your email, and you want to split test some things, it's hard to do. So anyway, so here's what they did. They set up a rule that says, if the second in the time, like hour, minute, second, if the second is odd, then go to page A. If it's even, go to page B. And I was like, that's cool. That's because like that rule was never intended for that, but it's great when somebody thinks outside the box and they're like, oh, I can do A/B split testing. It's probably not perfect. Maybe it's 49, 51%, you know, based on math and based on volume, but it's good enough. And I was really happy. I love seeing people do cool things outside the box that, like, we didn't build it for that, but it works amazing to solve that problem.
Cheese or chocolate?
Are you ready?
Okay.
Cheese or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Blue or Monopoly?
Blue.
Right?
In
Do
the
you want
kitchen.
to explain that?
I think-
Wait, what was it?
I said in the kitchen with a knife, right?
It's just funner. It's just funner because
I think Monopoly takes too long. I like Monopoly.
There it is.
We played Monopoly with our kids a lot to teach them math because we made them be the bankers, like counting as
Smart.
younger kids. It was fun. But man, that could be a 2 or 3 hour game.
Yeah. Is it worth the family harmony? You breaking it up? I don't know.
Now we play Hold'em on Sunday. For our card table is Texas Hold'em. I'm teaching my kids to gamble.
God, I know. Teach him young. Scott. Okay, here we go. This is good. Merge early or merge late?
On traffic? While driving?
I don't know. You just interpret it how you want to.
Merge early. Merge early. Be considerate. Let the assholes go around you.
I know. I used to be there. But I heard about the zipper rule and where it actually moves faster if we
So let's dive into this
closer.
for 30 seconds. So there's a problem when consideration is actually wrong. And so me being considerate by merging early causes the problem of the backup. So here's my mental state. All these people are passing me and I'm like, why am I the considerate one when I'm actually causing the problem? So you should pass. In that case, you should merge late. I'm changing my answer. In fact, I'm going to start driving and merging late.
Oh, no. Okay. We just caused an accident. Scott, he used to be an early merger.
Yeah, that's funny. You're good.
Know. Well, I know. And I felt that. And I was just like, why? Just get in line. We're all
You
got to
use the real estate that you're given because, I mean, that's how it works.
And then you look like an a-hole. Anyway,
well, you are an asshole if you go outside the real road. Like if you go around the outside.
We've seen these people? Yes, we can all agree those are the real ones. Okay, all right.
Oh, I shouldn't curse. We can bleep that out.
No, we're leaving it in there. Okay, here we go. Under the stars or sleep under some real nice sheets.
Under sheets. Dude, under stars is overrated. There's bugs.
So overrated.
Take me to the Four Seasons.
Oh my God, yes. Cleveland. Here we go. Or typewritten.
Handwritten.
You like.
My mind went to a thank you note, which is really the only thing that I handwrite. Everything else is typed.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's even better than typing? I turned on my Mac about 6 months ago. It changed my life. I turned on dictation. So now if I want to send an email, I just go command, and I just talk through the whole email. Dude, I can talk 200 words a minute. I can only type like 70, 80 words a minute.
And then you're doing all that boring like thinking, should I say this? Should I say no, just say it and then clean it up.
And then you can
afterwards.
clean it up. That's right.
Yeah. But you gotta get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is great. It's a meeting of the minds. Okay, finally, and maybe, perhaps, most contentiously. Star Wars universe or Star Trek?
Oh gosh, the world is gonna burn me down for this. Neither.
Sit down, everyone. The audience is standing. Sit down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Scott,
it's just
tell
never my
us.
jam.
Just never your jam. It's just, what are they doing? They got their outfits. They got their.
No, I mean, I like
PPs.
TV. I like movies. I never got into the series and the prequel, and I appreciate that people do.
Yeah, good.
But
for them.
neither. I don't know any of the characters. Like, I don't know if R2D2 is in A or B. Like, I just missed it. You know what? I was programming as a computer nerd the whole time.
I know,
and
he was busy. He was busy working, everyone. And now you have what are we clutching? Our opinions about Star Wars or Kirk, or Picard. Meanwhile, Scott's fixing links. You're welcome, everyone.
Star Wars is movies, Star Trek is TV, right? Yeah. So I'm a 1%er. Like I know some of it.
You're rare. It's so cool to talk to you. We're going to put them in a museum at the end of this.
That's funny.